I've gained over 1 million followers on Instagram in the past few years, most of which have come from these 7 organic growth hacks that I'm going to show you today. My name's Josh. I'm a 19-year-old entrepreneur here in New Zealand. I've gained a few million followers on Instagram, built a successful online business, and now I'm teaching you guys how completely free, twice a week here on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe if you do enjoy this content and smash that like button. Alright, so the first tip that you want to use to build your audience organically without having to spend any money is to leverage the current audience that you have. So chances are you already have some followers. Maybe you have 100, maybe you have 1,000, maybe you have 10,000 and you want to take that to the next level. One of the easiest, simplest ways you can do this to get a little bit of extra growth, it's not going to massively change things, but it will help you grow a little bit more, is leverage your current audience. And how you can do this is by getting people to comment on your photos, which is going to rank it better on the hashtags and in the Explore, getting people to tag friends, getting people to share to their story, and getting people to talk about you, getting your current followers to bring you new followers. And some ways you can do this is to create really relatable content that your audience loves, and then write like a clever caption that encourages people to comment, either to strike up a conversation, or to laugh, or to react to it in some way, or to tag a friend that they think could learn from it. You could put in a really cool photo and then say tag a friend who would love this. Maybe you're talking about food, your page is all about food. Tag a friend who absolutely loves Italian food. If you've got a video tutorial about how to make the best pizza in the world, or something along those lines. Use content and post content that encourages that, and put that into the caption as well to encourage people to tag a friend. Great way to boost your audience. Number 2, and this is probably one of the biggest ones that I've used, and that is cross promotion. Now, essentially, what this is you reach out to other pages in your niche who have got a similar size following, similar engagement, and a similar audience, and you promote a piece of their content and they promote a piece of yours, and you both gain. You gain some of their audience, they gain some of yours, and it's all honky-dory. Everyone is happy with how that goes. Both people grow because you already know that your audience is going to love their content, and you know their audience is going to love yours. And this is something really, really effective and scalable, because you can do this once or twice or 3 times per day and grow your page. And as you have more followers, obviously you're going to generate more from the shoutouts because you'll be working with bigger pages. And it's such a strong way to build your page legitimately, because you get a really engaged audience. I've found some ways you can do this is you repost one of their quotes, they repost one of yours. If it's in some sort of theme page niche, you can repost their content. If it's a personal brand, you could share their recent post to your story and give a little bit of insight on it, and they could do the same for you. If you're a brand, you can work with influencers. If you're influencers, you could work with other influencers yourself. So there's a lot of ways you can do this and get creative with it. Get some cool stuff going, and hopefully that helps you. Number 3, and this is a controversial one, and it's something that not many people talk about, and that is the spelling mistake trick. Now, this is essentially where if you have a quotes page or some sort of page where you post text-based content, maybe it's an inspirational page, a motivational page, whatever it might be, if you have like text on your pictures, you can deliberately put a spelling mistake that's pretty obvious towards the start of the text, and people will notice it. And then when people notice it, it strikes that emotion of frustration or anger or annoyance, which is much more powerful than positive emotions. That's been scientifically proven in a lot of studies, but I'm not going to get into that, to cause a greater reaction. And with that reaction, people are going to comment, oh my God, you missed this spelling mistake. Oh my God. They're either going to say you're stupid, or they're going to laugh at it, or something in that way. And what this does is it gets you a ton of comments, because as soon as you post that, you have a ton of people call you out on it or point it out to you. And with that, you're going to then get your post seeing more people in the feed, because as you get a lot of comments, Instagram show it to more people, and when more of your audience like and engage with it, they're going to push it onto the Explore page. So it's a great way to pull in new followers. However, on the flip side, you don't want to do this every post, because otherwise people are just going to think that you can't spell properly, and it decreases the value of your page and who you are. Now, if you don't post text-based photos, if you don't do quotes, stuff like that, which is probably the main niche, or commentary, or like some sort of sports page where you've got text about the players and so on, That can work really well. Let's say you run a football page, you could misspell a player's name. But anyway, if you don't do that, if you don't have text in your posts, in the first couple words of your caption, you could put in a spelling mistake. Make sure it's something obvious, like make sure it's not like, or something that people are going to pick up on. For example, me, I could use something like entrepreneur, and I could spell it wrong, and a lot of people might not even pick up on it. Some people would, some people wouldn't. So go with something kind of obvious. Spell something glaringly wrong, and you need a lot of comments. But, like I said, don't do it all the time, because people will think you're a bit dumb. Alright, so the fourth tip is one that not many people actually know about once again, and this is story engagement, and this is an amazing way to reach more people. And essentially what you want to do with this is when you get more engagement on your story, Instagram show your story to more people through hashtags, through the trending page, and more of your audience see it as well, because as we know, Instagram has an algorithm, and the more engagement content gets, the larger percentage of your audience that get to see that content, because it's deemed as high value, keeps people on the platform, and makes Instagram more money. So, how can you do this on a story? Most people know you can do this with a post, and obviously you can get lots of likes, you can get lots of comments, lots of shares, lots of saves, etc. But how does that work with a story? Now, when it comes to story, the way they judge engagement is based off poll responses, off questions, both the ones where you can submit a question and answer a question, as well as story replies. So if you want to get your story seen by more people, both more of your followers and more new people, you want to get more engagement on your story. And so use a poll. Use something really simple and easy for people to answer so you get a high percentage. For example, if I post something on my story and it's a question like, and it's a picture of me with coffee, absolutely amazing by the way, and I say, how many of you drink coffee every morning? Yes, no. I'm going to get a lot of responses to that because everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's a simple question. Everyone knows what coffee is. Everyone is going to be able to say, yeah, I drink coffee, or no. However, if I instead ask something more detailed, then how many of you have used Google AdWords for generating clients for your SMMA? Now, some of my audience has done that. Because if we look at it from this way, some of my audience will do SMMA, and then a small percentage of those will use AdWords. And so that's a much more detailed question, and that's a great way to survey your audience and work out who's in your audience. But for the purposes of getting more views, based off getting more engagement on your story, use something pretty generic that people can answer, and it's funny, something like that, which is going to drive a lot of engagement. And the same with your questions that you get asked. On top of this, if you do something where people can submit a question, that's going to boost your story views as well, because A, lots of people are engaging with it, and B, you're posting a lot of stories because you have to reply to everyone individually. Damn, I was speaking fast there, but you have to reply to everyone individually, which gives you a ton of stories. You could have 15, 20, 30 stories, and that's going to reach more people. Now, the last way to get more story engagement is get story replies. Now, story replies, the best way to go about getting those is strike up some emotion with your viewers. Whether you make them laugh, whether you make them learn something, or whether you make them annoyed, angry, worried, some sort of negative emotion. So the best way to do this is to post something on your story. Funny, relatable, whatever, we just talked about that. And then you need responses. So maybe if you post some sort of funny joke, you need a bunch of people respond to you laughing. That's going to boost your story views because they're going to show it to more people because lots of people have engaged with it. On the flip side, if you post something super educational, that's another great way to do it. Whatever niche you're in, whether you're a personal trainer, whether you have a meme page and you're talking about the meme world or whatever, I don't know, or whether you have a business-based page and you're talking about business, or whether you have an arts and crafts page and you're talking about that. If you post something that is of value to your audience and you get a lot of replies, more people will see that story. And lastly, you can strike up some sort of emotion, which is another great way to get more engagement on your story. For example, my most viewed story at the time when I posted it last year, my most viewed story of 2018, I was averaging 500-600 views on my story. Sometimes even less. It was probably 400 to 500. And I was traveling at the time. I was in Germany. I was staying with my friend in Gießen in Germany. And she's like, you want to come to school with me for a day to see what it's like? And so I went to the German school for the day, and at the time, like I said, getting 300 to 400 story views. And I posted a picture on my story of me there, and people like, and I was like, online business failed, clearly a scam, now I'm back to school. And so obviously I was joking, but I didn't make it that obvious. Now, a ton of people replied to this, like, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? And I was sort of joking about it, but I told them it was all good. And that got like 20 or 30 replies. So like 10% of my audience replied to that. And Instagram's like, damn, this must be a very good story. And so they sent that. So I think I got like over 1,000 views. So I like tripled my story views by getting a ton of replies. Now, you don't want to take advantage of your audience, and you more are better off going with the comedy route. But stuff like this works. So give it a shot. Number 5 is the top comment strategy, and this here is essentially following a lot of larger meme pages or a lot of pages in your niche, and as soon as they post, drop a quirky comment and try and get that to rank within the page. If that gets a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of replies, it'll rank at the top of the comments section, because comments on Instagram are in an algorithm, not chronological. Which means that if it does well, and if it shows up at the top of the comments section on a famous page, this gets a lot of likes and impressions. Every time people see that post, they hit the comment section and they see you. And with that, you're going to generate more followers. Now, that's just a brief overview of it. I did a full video talking about this, and I called it the Gary Vee updated strategy. So that'll be up here, I believe. If you want to go and see that, there'll be a link to that for this video detailing exactly how to do it. Number 6, the second to last tip I'm going to give you in this video, and it is to be polarizing. And what I mean by this is just be upfront with who you are, your opinions, and don't be a bitch when it comes to expressing how you feel or your opinions or so on. Just be you, and there's going to be enough people on the platform that support your views, whatever views they may be, because for every opinion, there is an equal and opposite opinion, and some people are going to side either way. So don't worry if you're offending one group of people, because there's going to be the other side of that group of people that are going to absolutely love you. And this is something that Donald Trump played into very well for the election. Now, I don't really follow politics, especially not US politics, but I believe he said something along the lines of, if I can get enough people to hate me, I'll win the election, or I'll become president of the United States. And he did exactly that. He was polarizing with his opinions, which means some people hated him, and some people absolutely love the guy. They just absolutely adore him. And that's because he was just polarizing with what he believed in. Instead of trying to say, I think this, but I can see your side, and I can do this, and this, and just trying to being soft and mellow and not very strong with your opinion, because if you do that, you're going to get a bunch of people that sort of like you, that sometimes enjoy your stories, etc. However, if you are polarizing with your opinion, you're going to have some people that dislike it and some people that absolutely love it and become true fans and love what you have to say. Whether you be in the health niche and you're saying, this diet is absolutely bullshit, here's why, and instead you want to do this one here. Now, the people of this diet are going to absolutely love your content and buy everything you sell. The people who follow this diet probably aren't going to like you. Some of them might even convert and follow you because they then realize, this one's a better strategy. Or whether you're an Instagram expert and you say, this strategy's shit, this one's good, and here's why. And just be strong with your opinions and what you do. Just be upfront and authentic, because there's 7 billion people on this earth. There's a couple billion on Instagram, or 1 billion or so active on Instagram. So regardless of what your opinion is, you're going to have a large group of people to appeal to. And the 7th and final tip to get more followers organically on Instagram is follow @JoshRyan on Instagram and send me a DM giving me your feedback of this video and any suggestions for future videos that you want to see. Now, what this is going to do is when you do that, I will follow you back. If you send me a message, you give me some feedback on this video, firstly, it shows me you've watched the whole video and I appreciate you so much for that. And so I will follow you back. I'll have a look at your page and I'll give you some help. On top of that, if you have any suggestions for content you want me to make, something you want me to enlighten you on that you want to learn, then I'm going to make that video for you to help you crush it on Instagram, make more money online, and learn about basic finances. So that's it. That's all you got to do is just follow me there, flick me a message, and that would be much appreciated. And I want to thank you so much for watching this far. So do that. I'll follow you back. I'll like a bunch of your stuff, and I'll give you some tangible advice that you can use to kick ass online. So anyway, without further ado, I really hope this video has helped you get some tips to crush it on Instagram, to grow faster, to make some more money. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment and follow me on Instagram at Josh Ryan. And I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing your feedback and any suggestions that you may have. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you have an awesome day.